Alright, this is a Pelican 1720 case. And I've been looking into these Pelican cases for a while now. I know a couple people who have them, and they all gave a good review on them. They are kind of pricey. This one I picked up for about $240 after tax at Midway USA. This is for your mid-length rifles, I would say. I mean, they make a 44-inch case for your long guns. This is not a long gun case unless you have a collapsible stock. It's rotomolded plastic like a kayak, which is extremely durable. It's uniform thickness, so it's not injection molded. It is rated for aircraft, so it has a rubber O-ring inside that keeps it airtight and watertight, and so when you go up in a plane there's problems with suction and air pressures, but it has a release valve here on the side that relieves all the pressure, so it's flight safe, it's travel safe, it's extremely durable, you can throw it around. It's got multiple carrying handles.
Let's get that on camera so we can show that.
Right here's the air release valve. And it actually also comes with needles here on the back end, so you can run it like a suitcase.
It does have a handle on the top here.
It is
I don't know if
handles on either side, and then it has a middle handle here. It has 4 locking ports here for padlocks, chain locks, anything I guess you could lock it with. It's probably a good idea to get a tag for it with your name, address, and everything in case you do lose it somewhere at an airport, gets stolen, anything like that. I'd recommend keeping it locked if you're going to keep it out in the bed of a truck, anywhere it can get broken into and taken, especially if you're traveling, keep it locked. I usually don't. I
now,
just
can
got
these
it,
fit
so.
standard cable locks through it?
I'm not sure. I need to try that out. I haven't tested it yet, so. I know most padlocks work in it just fine, so.
Well, the cable lock would be nice to put in the back of the truck. You could
lock it up to something, yeah. So they can't just take it even if it's locked. It's got these easy release levers here all the way down, and some of the newer ones actually have a button release. So you just push it and it snaps in, and then you hit the button and pull up and it releases. Those are, I think, the larger and more expensive cases. This is the dark earth. They also come in black, and I believe some of their cases are in OD green, the olive drab, but I'm not 100% on that one. This is my AR I have in it right now, and it's 3-layered. I'm not even sure what type of foam this is, but it's just a 3-layer foam system here, and you don't take out this middle layer, but you can cut it to whatever needs you have. If you had a camera tripod and cameras in here, you can do that. You can run multiple handguns or just gear. As I have it right now, it's just the AR and some magazines. I've got a little bit of room left in the end there if I wanted to put a silencer, a bipod, anything that's about 2 inches deep. So these are double deep on the mags, but there's a 3rd layer of foam here that I could run 4 mags if I chose to, but under this last layer of foam, it is just the case. So you usually just cut out this middle section. And
now, are you able to? Looks like you could fit 2 guns in here if you were wanting to.
Yeah, you could run.
I don't know if you could fit 2 guns this long in there.
Maybe without, if you weren't running optics on top of them.
Yeah, no optics. You can fit it a little closer. You want to have about 1 inch of foam just so nothing's pushing too hard on each other.
And it almost like you could run 1 optics and 1 not if you were,
These cases are.
Stuff.
I mean, they're not designed for ARs, but they're great for ARs because you can run 1 lower with an upper assembled. And if I didn't have my magazines right here, I could run a second low upper right here and have basically 2 guns in 1 case. And you can actually get the instant cement or contact cement and glue this section of foam to the next one. But I've been talking to a friend of mine, and he says when you do that, you want to take the foam out of the case, and when you glue it, let it dry out for a couple of days, because the fumes off the glue will actually ruin your rubber O-ring along the top here. And he says it can get kind of pricey to replace it, and it's a pain. So
now, what would be the benefit of gluing them together?
When you pull the rifle out, or when you pull anything out, things tend to catch because you want it to be a tight fit, but you don't want it to be too restrictive. But on these guns, there's a lot of sharp edges, and there's a lot of things to catch. So when you're pulling it out, it tends to pull up with it. So it can be. I mean, it's all preference. If you don't want to glue it, you don't have to glue it. I have yet to decide whether I'm going to glue it or not, but this is the way I have it right now. I might cut the foam a little bit more later on. This is with a razor blade, so it actually took me a while. A long knife, maybe not a long knife, but a very sharp knife is what I'd recommend. And I've actually seen guys use the electric, like turkey blades, and they use a Sharpie to outline the rifle, start the cuts with knives, and then use the electric saw for the longer, straighter portions.
Now, can you buy replacement foam inserts for this?
You can.
Because this isn't, you all can't obviously feel it. This is not your standard foam.
No, this is pretty dense.
Yeah, it's a nice, heavy, dense foam. It's not the foam you can go get at the craft store or anything. So you can buy replacement foam.
You can buy, when you buy it, it comes as a 3-set, so you get the top, the middle, and the lower, because they do sell a case with no foam at all, and it's just a case, but that's kind of pointless.
That's more of a like equipment case, not necessarily.
Yeah, you could run something in there
because Pelican does make cases for everything from phones to
cameras
and everything like that.
Any kind of gear. They make some that are just small rectangles, and then they make one bigger than this. Actually, I'm not sure how long it is, but it's a little deeper.
I think they
a little longer
kayaks now, don't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good with the rotor molding, so they're really starting to spread out now. I think it runs for about 60 to 80, somewhere in there, for all 3 sets of foam. It's kind of pricey, so when you cut it out, you want to make sure that's the cutout you want for them.
Where I was getting with that is you could potentially use this same case for any gun that'll fit in it. You just have to buy a different piece of foam to cut for each gun. So you could have 4 different foam inserts, for all your different guns.
I say, I've seen people do it. I don't really recommend it because you really want it to pancake so that the rifle, especially if you have optics in it, doesn't want to move at all. Because in the way it's set up right now, I could drop it, I could roll it, things can hit it, and the optics, they're not going to move. The gun will be fine because it has full foam contact. But I've seen some other people do it where they cut out the middle section for the rifle they're running, the magazines, the gear, and then they also cut the top section out so they can flip the two whenever they're running different rifles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay.
It just pulls out.
It's the same thickness.
They're all 2-inch. It's just the very bottom one is a little shorter on the ends to fit in for the handles and the way the bottom of the case, just the curvature of it. But you can cut the top and the middle one out. I don't recommend it because then you're not getting that full seal you want.
Yeah. And then on the seal, is there anything special, or is this just a rubber gasket? It feels like a rubber gasket.
It's just a rubber O-ring basically. Okay. It's not a hard. I wouldn't want to beat on. I wouldn't pick at it or anything. I'd leave it alone. Try to keep this dirt and debris free. These cases are watertight. I do not believe they're submersible, but they are watertight and they do float. So
there's no reason for them.
They are very heavy though.
Compared to some cases, yes. I actually have a metal gun case for shotguns, and it really beats this one on weight. But if you're running a gun like this that gets pretty pricey, the case is nothing. You want the most durable. Durable case you want, or you can get. And they do make, I believe, one that's deeper than this by about 1 inch. So if you have something that's more of I think you could run a bolt gun with the bolt in the gun. I mean, I don't recommend shipping it around with the bolt in.
But if you had a gun with, attachments or attachments on the side.
Side-mounted optics and flashlights,
so how long have you had
lasers.
This case?
I've only actually had this case a couple days.
So you haven't really done a full
we haven't torture tested. Okay. We haven't.
So we might retouch on this.
Yeah, we might.
Probably around deer season, I would say.
Yeah.
We'll retouch on this and give a better in-depth review. But yeah, it looks like a solid case. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, excited to see how this holds up.